What's up, everybody? Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys, check this out. So, yesterday I spent way too many hours playing video games. Yesterday was Sunday. Got up in the morning, went to church. Actually, I dropped a video, and then went to church. Came back, dropped another video, went grocery shopping. Came back, meal prepped, played video games, and then between playing video games and watching TV and doing some of the stuff around the house, but played way too much video games. But I was thinking about it this morning. All I did yesterday was play multiplayer. I transitioned between, or I flipped between Halo Infinite and Apex Legends. Literally just going back and forth, playing an hour to an hour and a half here of Apex Legends and playing an hour Halo Infinite and going back and forth, which I don't recommend. It's not a good idea because both games have very different mechanics. Okay. This morning I came down, made my coffee, had breakfast, got ready for my haircut appointment. But while I was waiting, I decided to go ahead and play a Plague Tale Innocence, which I'm streaming live on this channel. Right, so if you want to see my gaming live streams, just become a member and you'll be able to see me stream. Okay, but this game, A Plague Tale Innocence, shout out to my man Severin, I appreciate you. This game is amazing so far. And I wanted to talk about the difference between single player and multiplayer games. I like both, but I didn't always like both. I was a huge fan of single player games the most, which is why the PlayStation 4 really appealed to me. It wasn't until this generation where I really embraced multiplayer games. From racing games, Forza Horizon 5 is like the first racing game that I actually put hours into. Okay, Halo Infinite. Okay, Apex Legends I've been a fan of when I played it on PC before, but now I picked it back up again. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The other day I had a few people, shout out to Ash Ellis, and even my boy Juju, that got me to play Fortnite. No build, of course, and I was enjoying it and having fun. I play Roblox with my son all the time as well. So this generation, I've been embracing multiplayer a lot more, and I see why people love multiplayer. So I don't want to go ahead and do the whole neutral thing. This is what I want to do. If you could only pick one, single player or multiplayer, games to come out for the rest of the, I don't know, let's say in 2023 they're only releasing single player games or only releasing multiplayer games, which one would you lean towards? Which is the one that you're gonna want a lot more? And all you gotta do is be honest with yourself. What do you play more? Okay, actually I don't know if that works, because for me I would pick the single player more. However, I know that I put more hours into multiplayer, this generation at least, just because the time flies. It goes like this, right? But there's a difference. When I finished Red Dead Redemption, the first one, the feeling that you get when you finish a game that you actually enjoyed the whole way through is amazing. I Red Dead Redemption to me was an amazing game. Scorn to me is so underrated. That Scorn to me went over so many people's head as to what that game was trying to do that it's just ridiculous. I, Shout out to the coffee. Go watch his channel. He said it best. People hear these games coming out and they set up their own different expectation of what the game's gonna be or whatever. Then they build the game in their head, and then when the game is not that, they get disappointed. For me, I didn't really know what Scorn was. It looked weird from the beginning, and guess what? When I played it, it was weird. But man, when you reach the end of Scorn and you realize that you're left to determine the journey of this game, oh my God, the game's amazing. It's literally amazing. Now, you got to be smart enough to get past a few puzzles, but I promise, I believe in you. I liked it. Now I'm playing A Plague Tale Innocence, and same thing. There's all those three games that I mentioned are just so different. Yet each one of them has that single player narrative driven that just wants you that you just want to continue playing, right? Then you have games like Apex Legends and Halo Infinite, which I could dump hours into, just hours into these games. And I was thinking about it earlier when I was streaming Plex Tale. I'll probably put up that stream. with multiplayer games, there is a story within each match. It may be a very small story, but there's a story and an emotion that gets tapped into with every single match. Whether it's joy, whether it's the feeling of dominance, whether it's the feeling of clutchness, or whether it's the feeling of frustration, utter disbelief, all of that can happen in a 2 hour session of a multiplayer game, but it happens in segments of every single match. That's it. It happens in segments of every single match. Whereas in a single player game, the tone is set by the game, and then hopefully the game makes you feel like they intended it for it to make you feel. Once you reach the end of it, it's a complete project. So the satisfaction of beating a single player game takes a lot longer. The satisfaction of completing a match in a multiplayer game is pretty quick, right? Depending on how long the match takes. And that's where I think the biggest differences are between the two games is delayed gratification in the single player game versus gratification right then and there. Thank God we live in a universe where gaming has both, right? PlayStation's gonna get there soon. They got live service games coming out. Um, and the third party games are gonna be there. And Microsoft is gonna keep Call of Duty on it, so you guys don't gotta worry about that. But when you have games that you can pick and choose from, like this is a single player game, this is a multiplayer game, it's a good thing. So I'm just curious, which one would you guys think? Which one would you guys choose? And as a bonus question, what game does both of those things to perfection? I don't think I could think of one game that has a great single player story and a great multiplayer. Not a good, not a okay, like a great multiplayer. What game? Let me know. Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.